Today we're testing out the Kawasaki Eliminator 500 2024 model year. From the looks, maybe a little Vulcan, I don't know, but of course we don't have the seating position or the foot position like as on the Vulcan S, where you actually put your feet to the front, which I like very much. You have to get used to it, of course. Here we have normal foot position. If you were to ask me, what I like best, or which bike I like best, the Rebel or this one here, the new one from Kawasaki, and which one would you buy? Personally, I would buy this one, but only because it is more comfortable. It rides better, I think. It rides safer because of the tires. I had problems with the Rebel tires. From the looks, I would prefer the Rebel, personally. And so that's my mini verdict here. Let's get to the controls and the display. On the left-hand side, we have the clutch lever here. Also, I would like to point out it is fairly light to operate. Also, we have a slipper clutch here, which is good for your safety. For the index finger, we have the passing light switch here. We have a high beam, low beam switch here. We have the passing light switch here. We have left and right turn signal here. We have the horn here. On the right hand side, we have the throttle, we have the brake lever, we have the emergency cutoff switch here, and we have the starter switch right here. In the middle, we have the LC display. Next to it, you see the ignition switch there. Yeah, it is a fairly simple looking LC display, which kind of reminds me of Chinese LC displays, to be honest, or generic Chinese LC displays. But of course, it has its positives because you can it's an LC display and you can basically see it under any lighting conditions. Since it's not TFT or anything, the sun does not really interfere with it. You can see all of the content of the display at any time. That's no problem. On top of it, you have an RPM counter. Underneath, you have the clock, which is permanently displayed. We have the speedometer in the middle. We also have a gear indicator to the right. Underneath we have the data field basically, and underneath of that we have the fuel tank capacity indicator. We can switch around the data field here with, we have the average fuel consumption here, we have the range here, we have an odometer, we have trip A, trip B, and we have the actual fuel consumption there. That's everything you can see and do in the display. Of course, you have another button here for resetting the values. So this is the Kawasaki Eliminator 500 2024 model year, and we'll take it out for a little ride. Let's go! From sitting on this motorcycle, on this cruiser, we notice that we have a fairly low seat height and I am 175, and as you can see, I'm fully flat-footed on the ground here. I have total control basically, and I feel very safe, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I think we should get things started here. Yeah, what I wanted to point out actually, when I turn on the bike, I see the Bluetooth symbol is blinking. That means that we have Bluetooth that we have connectivity on this bike as well. I forgot to mention that. So if anyone needs to answer calls or whatever, I'm sure if you have a Bluetooth headset, you can do that with that. I don't know exactly what the functions are, but to some extent you have connectivity. That's what I wanted to point out, because nowadays this is very important, I guess. We have to be a little bit careful again in the corners, because once again, it's not the first bike and not the last probably, which has a jerky throttle. It's fairly jerky, and I don't understand why they do this. I'm sure they could do better. The seat is fairly comfy, I would say. Pretty comfortable. And the mirrors are pretty good actually. They're, at first I thought I cannot adjust them so that I can see everything, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's not the best. They're round and specific to this type of bike, pretty nice. But I think it is acceptable what you can actually see in them, no problem there. The controls, the plastics, they leave a Kawasaki kind of feeling to it. I don't want to say they're the highest quality. I don't really like these shiny switches, to be honest, but it's not bad. And the bike is a little bit cheaper than normal, I would say, so I think acceptable. The LC display actually is kind of a bummer because I don't really like it. I mean, it's good that it's LCD on one hand. On the other hand, it looks fairly outdated. I would have appreciated, you know, if they had put actually a manual gauge on it, you know. But they didn't. I mean, oh well, what can you do? No, I cannot complain about this more. But at least we have connectivity, so that's pretty good. Yeah, you can see everything in the display, bright sunshine or at night, because it is basically backlit, yeah. And when it comes to the riding, to the throttle, to the response, to the agility, everything is Kawasaki. It really feels nice. You don't have any complaints with it whatsoever. Maybe you don't like the sound of the engine, of the exhaust. I don't necessarily hear anything special. I think power 45, about 45 horsepower, definitely acceptable. Because of the weight, I think they had to reduce it a little bit, not 48 horsepower as usual. But from riding, it leaves a very good impression. From the comfort kind of feeling, sitting on it, riding on it. Personally, I do like this one better here than the Rebel. Also some new sensations here on my lower thighs. The wind is playing around with it quite badly. You get quite of a big wind and turbulence massage on your lower thighs. I don't really notice that on any other bike very often. I just want to point that out, that you have this here on this bike, and it's somehow stronger on the left hand side. I don't know why. Also, what I wanted to point out, everything is okay. I mean, it's a motorcycle, so it has to vibrate, right? But we have starting maybe from around 100, going upwards, you know, upwards from 100. Even in the 6th gear, you get micro vibration, quite a lot of vibrations, micro vibrations in the seat. Not necessarily on the handlebars yet, but in the seat. And yeah, either you like it or you don't, but I just wanted to point it out that it has something like that. Other than that, as I said, I do like it. From the looks, not so much, you know. I guess I would prefer the Rebel maybe, but this one is, to me, a little bit more comfortable. And everything works. Okay, on Honda bikes everything works as well, but I don't know, I just have this feeling on this one here. It's a pretty good feeling. Let's sing along with it. And I think I can conclude my video already. You have a short introduction to the Kawasaki Eliminator 500. Oh, actually, what I wanted to point out, there is also a SE special edition version on this one. It costs about 300 to 400 euro more. but you also get basically the same extras as on the Rebel Special Edition. You get the front light bezel, you get these thingies on the suspension, I don't know what they're called, and you also get a different seat. It does not look very much different, but it's a little bit different. And you also get a USB connection here on your handlebar actually. And that is the special edition, the difference. Yeah, this bike is only available in black here in Spain. And that's about it. Thanks very much for watching. This is Ben Ride out. Take care. Bye bye.